Hi, thank you so much. All right, so I am simultaneously live on YouTube and on Instagram right now. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chats here. Now, we are going over the the 10 sections that you need um, on your website's homepage to increase conversions. So to have an optimized home and service or homepage. Okay, so let's see here. Just getting set up here for a second so we can go through the sections. Now, if you have not downloaded the freebie, be sure to download that in the description. On YouTube, you should have the description. On Instagram, I don't think I can add the link here or anything. I can't. I don't know how to do that right now. So, but you can get it the link in my bio. All right. Let's see here. And let me just share my screen on YouTube here real quick. Give me 1 second here. It's my first time going live on YouTube, so not quite sure how to share my screen on here. Just bear with me here. All right. I'm not so sure how to share my screen on YouTube, or I could have sworn there was a setting. I, Googled it, did the whole thing. I Googled it, did the whole thing. So I'm not quite sure how to share my screen here, though, to be honest, on YouTube. Um, okay. We'll just go ahead and follow along, and then uh, using the freebie, and I will go over an example with you guys as well. So let's go ahead and just get into it. So I'm going over the 10 sections that you need on your homepage in order to optimize it for increased conversions. Now, this is just what I recommend. It's not a guarantee by any means, but if you follow these steps, it is going to increase the chances of you getting conversions. Now, it's up to you to do the rest, and it does vary on a number of different factors, of course, like um, your your copy and stuff like that. So, all right, now let's go ahead and take a look here. Instagram, I'm gonna turn you guys around. All right. There. Okay, so that's going to be the example that I'm going over. And let's go ahead and pull up the doc here. Okay. So here is the document. All right. Okay, so you should be able to see that there. Um, okay, so just going to dive right into it. There are going to be a few things that you'll need to know about your business before you dive into this. So you'll need to know your value proposition, have a clear understanding of the transformation that you provide, have social proof, a clear objective for your website, and then keep it easy to understand and and make sure it's easy to take action as well. Be sure to use proper grammar and then take your user on a journey. So you want this to be kind of like a storytelling, um, like a storytelling kind of, they kind of flow through it. And yeah, so you you got to make them feel like they're going through this journey on your site, not just like here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. You want it to kind of flow and feel like, you know, they're kind of learning more about your business in a way that makes sense and doesn't feel choppy. All right, so the first section is going to be the navigation bar. Now, if you see here, it says to keep the navigation bar short with a logo and 3 to 5 links. Now, that does include like your home, going back home links and stuff like that. And as you can see here on my website, I have my logo. Let's move the Instagram one back. All right. YouTube, I'm going to drop my website in the chat here. Okay. So you can check out my website there and we'll go through that. That's the example that I'm going to go over for this live here today. All right. So you'll need to or I as you can see here, I have my logo and I don't have an extra home button. And again, this is going to really depend on your user and what's best for them. But for my user, most of them are pretty knowledgeable on, you know, the website and that the logo usually leads back to the homepage. So that's why I don't have a home button. But you're going to need to do what's best for your user. And then I have my portfolio here, some resources, and the call to action, which goes to my services page here. All right, so that's the first section. I kept it very simple because I don't want to overwhelm people. I want them to take quick action. Like if there's something that they're looking for, okay, what's my previous work like? They can take a look at my portfolio. What resources do I have available? Either free, paid, you know, low cost, whatever. Um, my goal here for the low cost for the resources is to keep things low cost and affordable, as well as providing like free resources. So that's what that is all about for my website. Now that might be different for yours. And then the work with me, um now I understand everyone's like at a different stage in their business, so I personally prefer working with people like one on one and getting to know them in their business. So that's why that's my call to action. My goal is to work with more people one to one because I actually enjoy that. I genuinely enjoy doing that. So that's the breakdown of my navigation bar and the choices that I made. So take that into consideration when you are creating yours. Make it easy, have a goal, um, and don't overwhelm them. So those are the 3 places that I want people to go to, and that's why there's only 3 links. And then after that is the hero section. So this is this here, um, when they first come onto the website. So they'll see the navigation bar and then all the content that is on that screen when they first load the website. That's called the hero section. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down a little bit because the hero section typically has the uh, headline here. So you have this catchy headline or this headline that really catches people's attention, something that is intriguing and makes them want to learn more. So the world needs more eco-inclusive brands. That's my called my headline here for my section because it talks about my mission a little bit. Obviously, it kind of alludes to my mission. It doesn't say it explicitly, but it alludes to it, where my mission is to help more brands be more eco-inclusive, and what that means for them. So that's why I have that as my headline, right? So it explains my goal, it explains what the purpose of my website is. So that's what you need to consider when you're creating yours. And then social then I have like let's see, I have 1, 2, 3 sentences here, right? And that's what the goal should be, is keeping it about 2 to 3 sentences. I think the yeah, the worksheet says 1 or 2, 3 is okay, it's not the end of the world, but, you definitely wanna keep it, like, as short as possible. And here, the way that it's laid out, it doesn't feel overwhelming either, like, this is easy to read, um, so it's not like it's not 3 super long sentences, it's 3 relatively short ones. Right, so, mine is social and environmental impact go hand in hand these days. Any business any business can easily change its strategy or design to put people and the planet first. Best of all, it's more likely to resonate with your dream clients. So that just kind of touches on a few different points there quickly and easily, and it's easy to understand what my business does. So you want to make sure that when you're creating yours, that you have a similar kind of flow, where it's easy to recognize what you do and what someone would get out from your business. And then I have my call to action button, so it makes a change. And I am going to open this one in a new link just so you can see, because I'm going to go back to the homepage. But and then um, this is actually my homepage. It just went down on my homepage, but and it goes to like the 2 sections here for the DIYer and then a personalized approach. And we'll go into the section in a bit. But I actually linked together my hero section and the next section, which is social proof, because I felt like that's just what makes more sense for me. Now you can have them separate. So let's say you're a copywriter, then this would be great for you to like maybe have a picture of you and then have like client testimonials or stuff. And I have a list of examples of social proof on the guide. So here you get to see an example of social proof. But I went ahead and just linked mine together. My brand isn't so much like about me, it's more about like the transformation that I can provide for others. Like, I definitely don't want to be the center of attention, although I am the face of it right now. But I don't want to be the center of attention. So that's why I put in examples of like designs I've done in the past there. All right. So, and that's going to help validate like my claims of being a designer and bringing in like social inclusivity and stuff like that. As you can see, all my designs here are easy to see, clear. There's and it's easy to differentiate them, and they're not like hard to read or anything like that. I mean, other than the websites, but that's just because they're small. But you can see there's clear distinction in the colors between the buttons. Like if you like on a desktop on my website, you can even tell that there's text in that button because I made sure to keep everything accessible as far as like the color combinations go and stuff like that. So that's that kind of just helps again reiterate my claim. All right. So then you go into the benefits. So the benefits is for that I listed out on my website. It's like that making the switch does not have to be scary. So we work together on a solution that works for you and your business while making an impact. Let go of the guilt around making those choices that don't meet the expectations of virtual signaling spaces. It's all about doing what you can to make a difference while continuing to follow your dreams. So that's right there explaining the benefits of working with me, is because I'm not gonna try to guilt trip you into making, like, this perfect zero waste company. I'm gonna try to help you make the decisions that make sense for you. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm just trying to help make the world a better place. That's my goal. And if we can work together to do that, then let's do it. Um, and that's why I have the 2 pictures. Let's see, I'm gonna move Instagram, I'm gonna move you guys. All right, and that's why you see the two computers here as well. It's just showing like, hey, this is us working together. Um, and you can see that here clearly. All right. And then, so that's kind of explaining that top. And then the last section here is just showing like, hey, you can still follow your dreams. You can still, make profits a priority. You can still, do whatever um while making a difference. Right? So that's another benefit. And I don't go into exactly how I do it or whatever, but it's intriguing enough to get people to go on to the next section. So that should be the goal here for the benefits. Okay, and then this is that section that we saw before that I clicked on, that call to action for my. This is a call to action button. It links to here from the homepage. So this is the services section. So if you have a ton of services, I'd really try to whittle them down to like your at the most your top six. Like if you really, really have to, your top six. But if you can have like three, I think that would be the perfect spot, if you have a ton of services. But um I didn't want to list out like every single individual service. So I just put the two categories that people can work with me in for the DIYer and then a personalized approach. So let's go ahead and go through this section now from the top. So, how do you accomplish a guilt free pivot in your business? Now that you're ready to make the switch in a way that works for you, it's time for a rebrand. Check out the ways we can work together. So, for the DIYer, check out the free and lower cost resources for business owners ready to make the change but are facing financial hurdles. Again, this is all like very low cost stuff. It's going to be less expensive than, or I wouldn't say less expensive, but lower cost than working with me one on one. Obviously, because I'm not going to be very hands on with there. It's usually pre recorded stuff or guides and stuff and things of that nature. So that's what you get there. And then for a more personalized approach, let's work together to create personalized solution for your business. I offer help with strategy, brand design, and websites. So that lets you know, like, hey, this is all us more working together, working one on one, and what I help with. So this is more explaining what's included, the actual features, that kind of a thing. Now, if you have a business where you have you're listing out like your actual like either highlighting one main service or listing out your individual services, then you can have like a few sentences there that explain the features kind of like I do here, just like short one or two sentences. And both of these I think are one. No, this one. So for the DIYer, that's one sentence, and under personalized approach, I have two sentences there. So this part you really do want to keep it to one to two because you don't want to clutter them. You don't want to make them feel overwhelmed with the decision that they have to make. So again, one or two sentences under that, and then underneath that, you can have a call to action button or just like a link. And you'll want to make sure that it looks like a link. So have it underlined, change the color a little bit, all that good stuff. Now, I have two of my main call to action buttons here. And that's only because to me, it's just two and it helps them pop, especially against this next section. So that's why I have two there of the same color. Now, if you have the three or more, this is where you should use your secondary call to action button, not your main one. Okay, so next section is a proper call to action section. So it's likely that if someone makes it past the last 5 sections, that they may need a little extra kick to get you to get into your world, to make that decision to work with you. And you should really have something juicy to offer, something that's really going to help people with their business, that's relevant to what you do. So for me, um, because my goal is to get more people into my community, and part of that is through like getting my social channels up higher, more people subscribe to my social channels and to my email list. So right now I'm building my YouTube channel, so I put quickly here, learn how easy it is. Subscribe to my YouTube channel where I share weekly eco-inclusive tips for business owners ready to make an impact on their community. Subscribe. Quick, easy. It explains what you're getting out of it, and it gets someone into my community if they are not ready to make the decision to work with me. And if you decide to have something paid here, I do recommend having it under $50 uh, because it's nowadays people are just constantly getting hit with work with me, here's this, here's that. And it's much more difficult to entice them to work with you. So I definitely recommend having something lower cost here, like a lead magnet, and that gets them into your realm. And that's why you want it to be low cost, because the lower cost it is, the more likely you're going to have more people that enter your world through this. All right, so next one is going to be social proof. Yes, we are definitely going to get into social proof again. Again, because the whole point is trying to convince people to work with you to reach the goal of the website. So here I have previous client testimonials. So I have one here from Emma from Achievability, and then I have another one from Julio from Rice House City, and then Rose from New Talent Solutions. So I have three uh, customer testimonials. Now, if you have a lot of like video testimonials, this is a great place to put that. However, at this time, I'm going to be honest, I only have the one video testimonial from Emma. So that is actually under their portfolio piece. Um, Part of me is still wondering if I should put the video testimonial here as well. So that's something I'm still going to very much play with here. However, if you don't have any video testimonials, like this is okay too. Like having these testimonials like that is okay. You can have written ones. It's not a big deal. Um, but as you like develop more into your business, have a video testimonial here, and utilize for platforms like Vimeo, the Vimeo. I'm not sure how to say that, but and YouTube, where you can just embed the video. Don't upload a video directly to your website unless you know that your theme is optimized for videos, and two, you know how to code and take the proper precautions to make sure that it doesn't overload like your website and make it slow. So if you are not sure about those two things, then utilize one of those two video platforms, or another one if there's a better one that you know of that works for you. All right. So that's where you have another social proof. And then we go into the about you section. All right. So this is a short about you or your business. I have a bit of a combo here. It talks a little bit about me as far as the hang on, let me move my mic here. All right. So it talks a little bit about me as far as like my experience, why I started my business, and then a little bit, about my business as well. So it kind of takes a little bit of a journey here. Now, it's usually like 2 to 3 paragraphs. It's okay if you have four. I have four, but the fourth one is just one sentence, so it's not a big deal. Um, and then keep it, a good mix. So if you only have 2 paragraphs, then I recommend having one a little bit about you and the other one about your business if you are including yourself in your business. I do strongly recommend that because again, so many people are just getting like inundated with so many ads and sponsorships and hey, do this with me, do that with me kind of thing. So having that personal touch is really going to help bring people into your world. Okay, so and let me give you an example. So definitely have a photo of you if you're talking about yourself, or a photo of like something related to your business, maybe your staff, a group photo, that kind of thing. I strongly recommend having a person here to kind of really pull them in, or um, You can also have, like, another photo of your product if you really wanna avoid people, like a photo of yourself or having people, but that's just my recommendation, just to help connect with people, is to have more people listed here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and read mine to you so you have an example of what it should kind of sound like. Alright, so as a self-proclaimed creative nerd with nearly a decade of experience in business operations, marketing, and client experience, I love helping entrepreneurs, business owners, and nonprofits transform their brands. After finishing my degree in business, encountering the workplace obstacles many young Latinas face, and having a perfect storm of family issues, I decided to quit my job and start my entrepreneurial journey. It was time to use my skills and knowledge for companies and people willing to take action. I started the Guilt Free Agency to help others transform their brands into the eco inclusive revolutionaries they want to be. My dream is to help businesses of all shapes and sizes, uh, of all shapes and sizes, pivot to the social and environmental impact space without guilt. Boom. Shares about me, shares about my business. It helps entice people to wanna work with me. It gets, and it shares a little bit about me so that people can get to know me as well. So, you should have something similar. You can, don't ever copy anyone, but definitely take inspiration from other people. Look at, copywriters are a great source of inspiration because they obviously write for a living. So, looking at their website, like, taking a look at, the way that it flows, um and now keep in mind that copywriters, because they have to showcase, their writing skills, they tend to have, longer sections with more text, but you can always shorten yours down. The main point is to, like, just draw in, like, the main sections. Or if if you're, like, in the B2B space, like, you wanna work with corporations, and look for other companies that do that as well, and see how they handle this about section. So, take inspiration from people that, are in the space that you wanna work in, but never copy, okay? Only take inspiration, but never copy. Alright, number 9, this is the second to last section. Alright, so here we're gonna throw in, um this is number 9, throw in some fancy things from the here we go. This section here. Number 9. Okay. This is where you have another call to action. This is where you try to this one for sure you have to try to pull them into one of your social spheres, whether it's email, Instagram, excuse me, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Try to pull them in using this section here. And here's an example. So I'm using this to channel people into my Instagram. So, want to get to know each other more? Join me on Instagram. If you're looking to connect with someone who actively engages with followers, puts out educational content, and is easy to talk to, then look no further. Hit that follow button to view my IG profile. So then it hits the follow button and they are automatically linked to my social profile. And it's that easy. It's you really want to make it that easy, and you want to quickly explain what benefits they get out of following you. What are the benefits they get out of joining you on this journey? Okay. So this entire homepage needs to be about your visitor. It needs to be about what they get out of it, what how this benefits them, and why you're a good match. Okay. And then the last one, the footer. So, like, um the navigation, let's scroll up here to the top. The navigation, in contrast, is very, very sparse. There's not a lot of info on here. It's quick. There's one, two, three, four total links. That's with my logo that links back to the homepage, the portfolio, resources, and the work with me call to action button. The footer, on the other hand, has more links. As you can see here, it has my services, portfolio, resources, privacy policies, terms of service, and the another call to action button here, but this one says buy me a tea. So this is for people that are wanting to support um, my free content, and then of course like the copyright info and all that kind of thing. But this is where you can really have a lot more links. Now, I'd say if you have more than, I don't know, like 5 to 10, let's say, consider categorizing them. So, I don't plan on having like a bunch of my subpages linked here. Subpages are the ones that, like, once I click on my portfolio, so let's do that as an example. So I go to my portfolio, and then right now I just have 60th Street Strong, and then I click on 60th Street Strong, and this would be a subpage. I mean, the portfolio page is a subpage also, but let's not get too technical now. All right, so the 60th Street Strong, this would be a subpage, right? And then um so if I wanted to start linking those, then I would have like portfolio, and then underneath that link is where I would start structuring the the sub pages. So it's like you have the category, the main page here, and then the sub pages listed down underneath. And that makes it easier to follow. Like you'll see big corporations do this too. So let's go Apple. Whoa, there's a, not sure what that was. Okay. So let's go scroll down to their footer. All right. And as you can see here, like they have shop and learn. That's a main category for them. And then they have like store, Mac, iPad, all that other stuff. And then they have services, and then list out all the services that they offer, manage your account, manage your account, all that. So that's a great example of how you structure a footer, right? And then they have all the other info down at the bottom and everything. Okay, so if you have a really large site, Apple's a great example. Look at other corporations. Maybe you don't like the way this is structured, or you've gotten a lot of feedback from your users that they don't really like the way that footer structure. So then, excuse me. So then check out some other sites that may look similar, or some other big corporations that have like a similar amount of links to yours, and see how they structure them. But always keep in mind, like, just because they're a big corporation does not mean that they know how to structure a footer or they know how to structure anything else on the site. So just keep that in mind. Like, okay, if you would be a first time visitor, is this easy for you to look through? And if the answer is no, then do not follow what that structure is that you're looking at. Okay. So yeah. All right. If you have any questions about these, please feel free to drop questions in the comments here. And yeah, that's pretty much it though. There is still a services page overview as well. So if you would like to get that, and it does come with, similar to the homepage, where the homepage sections, you get you get the section name, you get the explanation, and then you get little tips on each page, right? So you get little tips on every page, and the same thing for the services page. You get the section, you get a breakdown, an example, or not an example, an explanation, and then some tips. So if that sounds like something that you'd like, check out the link in the description. For YouTubers, check out the link in the description. For Instagrammers, then I have the link in my bio. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you around.